Erend!
And the Spectre's dug its heels in. It's got me pinned down.
Hang tight. I'm almost there.
Just hurry.
Calma aí. Primeiro eu vou ver o que é isso aqui.
Cabos explosivos.
Por cima, ué, saindo da gruta.
That doesn't sound good. I gotta get to Erend. Erend, I'm here.
Watch out. That thing's shooting down
Matar
the
mais
center.
bicho. É ou dois.
Stay put. I'll see what I can do.
Também que só tem um.
The second you need me, I'm there.
Spectre's not budging from that spot. I might be able to sneak up on it if I stay out of its line of fire. Shields down.
Here
It's
we
on the
go.
move.
I got your back, Aloy. Aloy, get out!
Deu uma porrada bonita agora.
I needed that.
O Ed tá apelando. Ô, caralho. Ah tá, vou foder com ele, Cidinho.
I could use it against the Spectre.
Uma arma pesada? Falou que tem uma arma pesada aqui. Tem arma pesada que eu não tô vendo.
A heavy weapon. That could help.
Cadê? Cadê a arma?
That weapon can make the fight go quick.
Vamos lá. Peguei uma arma pesada, Cidinho.
Let's get into this. Live long, kill your ass. Don't get that stuff on you. It's done.
Morreu.
Calma, 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 calma.
Boa, garoto.
Aloy, she's... Look, I swear I'm not drunk, but right now I'm seeing double.
Long story, but it'll have to wait.
She needs a healer, but we need to get her back to the base immediately.
Right. Yeah. Well, what are we waiting for then?
You two go on ahead. I need to take another look at that weapon.
Ela é boladona, mano.
If I
Para
can
de
figure
jogar.
out how that thing works, maybe the Zeniths won't be so invincible after all.
Cara, esse jogo rodando em 4K tá bonito pra caralho. Tão bonito que dá vontade de jogar só assim em 4K, tá ligado? Olha isso.
Falta uma. Ah, já pulou pra outra etapa. O bicho corre.
Ah,
Consegui mais medalha de bronze.
deixa eu ver aqui se tem alguma coisa por
Vai
aqui.
ser difícil que o bicho corre.
É?
É,
Ah, não duvido não.
o bicho corre.
Mais uma arma pesada aqui. Olhem ela. O desempenho fica um pouquinho menos maneiro. Mas é pouca coisa, que isso? Mesmo assim ainda tá bonito ainda.
Caralho, vai ficar.
Vai tocar ficar mais bonito mesmo. É isso. Zóio verde da Eloy. Perturbação. Que isso? Só tinha coisa pra pegar esse dia. Lança cristalina. Ai meu Deus. Pegar madeira. Deixa aqui. Achei mais uma parada que eu nem tinha visto.
É! Porra! Caralho.
Caralho.
Porra. Primeira prova do campo aqui já tá concluída. Só o Ardente. Na segunda eu já consegui. Porque eu marquei os alvos antes. Eles se escondem.
Ah. Caralho.
Primeira concluída.
Fato nas paradas aqui, esse dia.
Agora, prova de troncos. Caralho, que prova de troncos é esse?
Isso.
No. Damn it.
Não sei como é que é, mas
It's better than nothing.
eu tenho que já usar estilingue explosivo.
Ué.
I need to get the weapon fragment to Gaia to analyze. If we can replicate it, maybe we'll have a way to defeat the Zeniths. I should check on the clone, too. Varl, where's our guest?
We're in the maintenance corridor below the control room.
Okay.
So the old ones painted their faces with something called makeup.
Como é que tá bonito aqui pra dentro? Ah, porque tá indo.
Why?
É. Fica bonito ainda, né? Ah. Um pouquinho menos só.
I just think my face says it all as is. That's all.
Ai, meu caralho.
Aloy, glad you made it back okay. She panicked after waking up and stumbled down here. I thought it best to wait for you.
I'll talk to her. Hello? It's Beta, right? My name's Aloy. What's wrong? Is it your injury?
Simulacrum withdrawal syndrome.
I don't understand.
Sudden removal of a neurologically integrated data device. Brain, especially the cerebellum, goes into a kind of sensory freefall. Everything real feels unreal. Distant.
Is there anything that can help?
Do you have a focus to spare? It's primitive, but I can make it work.
Yeah.
Hey.
Booting up. So, Aloy, I suppose you want information.
About you and the Zeniths? Yeah. Why are they here? What do they want? How did they get you? But let's start at the beginning. I'm guessing they faked the destruction of their ship 1,000 years ago?
That seems consistent with their behavior. They wouldn't want to be followed.
So far, Zenith established a colony world after all.
Yes, for a few hundred years, but it didn't last. Some sort of natural disaster rendered it uninhabitable.
Okay, so the descendants of Far Zenith escaped a dying planet, and now they want to claim Earth for themselves?
Not their descendants.
What?
Not their descendants. It's them. The same ones who left Earth 1,000 years ago. You didn't know?
How can they still be alive? They don't even look... What did they do to themselves?
I believe it's a combination of pharmaceutical, cellular treatments, and technological implants.
And you? Does that mean that you...
I'm not like them. I was made. On the way to Earth. On the ship. I spent years studying in my training interface, all so that I could serve my function.
Access and control of the terraforming system. But why? What do the Zeniths want with it?
When I discovered the Zero Dawn system had disseminated into its subcomponents, I thought my purpose was to fix it. But I don't think the Zeniths want that at all. I think they want to wipe Earth clean and start over.
A mulher fala rápido pra caramba.
So the Zeniths want to exterminate life on Earth. That's what Gaia and I concluded too. But why? Why kill everyone just to take over?
When they took me on missions with them, I saw how they butchered the tribal people we encountered. They didn't seem to care about a rejuvenated Earth, so I concluded that they must want a hard reboot of the system. Then they can redesign it to be exactly what they want.
Mass extinction for their own comfort? Who thinks like that? Well, without their Gaia kernel, they'll have a hard time doing that. So we're dealing with the same Far Zenith people who once lived on Earth. What else do you know about them?
They were some of the most affluent and powerful people on Earth. They controlled almost every major resource, every industry. Gerard commands them. He's the one who decided to set up a base. The others, Eric, Tilda, Verbena, they resent his authority over them, but in the end, they always do what he says.
Eric. He's the one I fought back in the Hades Proving Lab.
He enjoys hurting people.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned the Zeniths set up a base here on Earth. Where is it?
Off the coast, I think. Whenever I had to go on missions, I was transported inside of a Spectre drone. I couldn't see anything outside. But I did overhear the Zeniths talking about it once. They were discussing setting up a perimeter energy shield to repel the local fauna. I'm certain they have other security measures. Spectre patrols, machine bombers. It must be impregnable.
What's inside the base?
Launch facilities so they can shuttle back and forth to their ship in orbit. Plus infrastructure to gather materials and fabricate anything they need.
Are there more Zeniths than the ones you met?
I'm not sure. I suppose there must be more of them in the base or back on the ship. For all I know, there could be more of them out in space. Other survivors of the colony.
Nossa senhora.
You said the Zenith's colony in the Sirius system was destroyed. What happened?
All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave Sirius. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object or a cataclysmic seismic event. Or maybe even an abnormally violent coronal mass ejection from Sirius A.
The Zeniths never told you any details.
They said the only thing that mattered was that they survived. First Earth, 1,000 years ago, and then Sirius.
Guess they survived old age, too. The Zeniths needed Elizabeth's gene print to access Zero Dawn facilities. So they made you. Trained you. And you went along with it?
They told me I was born to interface with the Zero Dawn system. When we reached Earth, I pieced together what must have happened to Gaia and her subordinate functions. That's when I started to realize I wasn't meant to fix Gaia. That they must have made me so I could do what their remote extinction signal failed to do. Reboot Earth for their own benefit.
You said you were born on the way to Earth. In an artificial womb, I'm guessing?
The Zeniths had an ectogenic chamber aboard the ship. An updated version of the one you found me in. They must have used a stored sample of Elizabeth's DNA.
I doubt Elizabeth would have let them take her DNA. Do you know how they got it?
That wasn't part of the archive I was allowed to access.
You said you spent years studying in a training interface.
Dá pause
Was
aqui,
this
vou fumar um cigarro.
archive you mentioned part of
Caralho,
it?
por causa da prova.
Only the
É uma
parts I was
prova. A
permitted to
primeira eu
access.
sempre passo uma mais rápida.
Aristotle and Aspasia, the avatars of the archive, would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress.
Wait, those names. They were designed to be the virtual guides for the Apollo database. Before Ted Fair purged it.
Doria.
The Zeniths have a copy.
So it still exists.
Raça, Glauco, raça. Eu preciso de raça.
Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameters, my tutors would deny it.
To have all that knowledge just out of reach. Must have been frustrating. So you know about the extinction signal?
It was speculation, but the only logical conclusion why Gaia suddenly self-destructed after operating efficiently for centuries. Gaia would have only undertaken such a desperate course of action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth that was more dangerous than ceasing function altogether. I should have realized that she would also order the recreation of Elizabeth Sobek to rebuild her.
Yeah, well, surprise.
É muita informação, mano.
How did you escape the Zeniths?
Before the Hades Proving Lab, I never thought I'd get away from them. Even if I were to run, I'd never survive on my own in the wilds. Then I saw you. And I thought that maybe you could help me. So when the Zeniths pinpointed Eluthia's location in the biomedical research facility, I saw an opportunity.
You said you spent years studying in the training interface. Was this archive you mentioned part of that?
But only the parts I was permitted to access. Aristotle and Aspasia, the avatars of the archive, would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress.
Wait, those names. They were designed to be the virtual guides for the Apollo database. Before Ted Faro purged it.
The Zeniths have a copy.
So it still exists. And you got to learn from it.
Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameters, my tutors would deny it.
Ah, vou ter que escutar isso de novo.
Knowledge. Just out of reach. Must have been frustrating.
Ah, eu escutei mais 2 vezes. Colônia arquivo, né?
You said you spent years studying in the training interface. Was this archive you mentioned part of that?
But only the parts I was permitted to access. Aristotle and Aspasia, the avatars of the archive, would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress.
Wait, those names. They were designed to be the virtual guides for the Apollo database. Before Ted Faro purged it.
The Zeniths have a copy.
So it still exists. You got to learn from it.
Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameters, my tutors would deny it.
Valeu, vai
To
lá.
have all that knowledge. Just out of reach. Must have been frustrating. So you know about the extinction signal?
Speculation, but the only logical conclusion why Gaia suddenly self-destructed after operating efficiently for centuries. Gaia would have only undertaken such a desperate course of action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth that was more dangerous than ceasing function altogether. I should have realized that she would also order the recreation of Elizabeth Sobek to rebuild it.
Yeah, well, surprise. You said the Zenith's colony in the Sirius system was destroyed. What happened?
All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave Sirius. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object or a cataclysmic seismic event. Or maybe even an abnormally violent coronal mass ejection from Sirius A.
The Zeniths never told you any details.
They said the only thing that mattered was that they survived. First Earth, 1,000 years ago, and then Sirius.
Guess they survived old age, too. All right, I think that's enough for now. Do you want to come upstairs, or...
So how long? You know, your plan. How long before Gaia's fabricated a machine army to defeat the Zeniths?
How did you know?
Optimal strategy, so?
Well, I still have to get 2 more subordinate functions before Gaia's powerful enough to absorb Hephaestus.
What? You don't have Hephaestus already?
Gaia's still figuring out how to capture it. It's not confined to a single location, of course not!
You didn't even know who the Zeniths really are.
You were supposed to be further along by now!
Coming here was a mistake. They're gonna find me. They're gonna find this place and take me back. This was all for nothing.
They're not going to find us. Gaia's using Minerva to mask our location.
What difference does it make? You're too far behind. We're never going to beat them. Everything. Everyone. They're gonna die.
Hey. Calm down. You're here now, right? So is there anything you can do to help?
I have certain knowledge sets. And given your state of progress, expertise you probably lack. Geoengineering, of course. Computer science, physics, biology, chemistry.
Okay. Well, see if you can do something with that. Talk to Gaia. I'll check on you later.
Vamos lá.
Her injury's not that bad, but I think she regrets coming here. Feeling might be mutual.
I'll come back later and talk to her. See if I can learn anything.
I should get the weapon fragment to Gaia.
Ó, falou pra caralho. Esse jogo, ela fala muito nesse dia. Porra. Informação pra cacete.
Welcome back.
Caralho! Que inteligência que eu usei agora! Agora que da inteligência.
Ó, garoto.
Aloy, I see we have a new guest. So now we know the origin of the transmission.
Yeah. I also recovered this.
Porra, na
The
terceira
weapon it
só
was
que eu
part of
consegui.
somehow stripped
Porra.
Zenith of its shield, but it malfunctioned and blew up. If we can recreate the weapon and improve it, maybe we'll gain the upper hand on the Zeniths.
A moment, I will scan it. Complete. By combining the results with data from your focus, I can infer that the weapon was highly advanced, comparable to Zenith technology, but not how it worked.
Did the explosion corrupt the data?
It was only a catalyst. The moment the weapon malfunctioned, it appears a command executed to purge all data within its core. Ostensibly, this was to prevent the weapon's secrets from falling into enemy hands. Whoever designed this weapon knew how to cover their tracks.
Silence.
Based on your data on him, that is my conclusion as well.
And he's not gonna cooperate with us. Well, it was worth a shot. But that's not all. The Zeniths got Aletheia, along with Artemis and Apollo.
That is unfortunate. However, our original plan remains unchanged. The two remaining subordinate functions should increase my heuristic processing density enough to absorb Hephaestus.
Right. One problem at a time. Well, I guess I better get back out there.
I wish you luck on your search.
Right. Thanks, Gaia.
Ganhou troféu.
Making use of Cylon's weapon. And now there is another clone of Elizabeth here with us. But I can't let it distract me. I still have 2 more sub-functions to get.
A Gaia tá com uma parada na cabeça.
I'm back, Gaia.
Hello, Aloy. What would you like to discuss?
So, I guess Beta's here to stay. I gave her a focus. Told her to talk to you to see if she can help. She's not what I expected.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. Someone more helpful, I guess. And less pessimistic.
It is true, she overestimated our progress. However, it is also worth noting that her confidence in your abilities emboldened her to escape the Zeniths.
I guess so.
Give her time. She may yet come around.
How's Erend handling things?
He is becoming increasingly accustomed to use of the focus. After an initial incident,
What did he do?
he unfortunately crushed his first focus as he attempted to affix it to his temple. Amongst a number of Oseram curses, I believe he also blamed the focus for being dainty. He has given repeated assurances that it will not happen again.
Well, good thing we have a lot of extras, I guess. How long do we have then?
At present rates, without additional factors, the biosphere will cross a point of no return in approximately 4 months.
And if I gather Ether, Demeter, Poseidon, merge you with them?
We will only gain a few months more.
Well, every bit counts. So, Project Zero Dawn. The greatest minds in the world, all working to build the terraforming system while the Pharaoh Plague devoured the planet. What was it like?
Personnel worked in rotations at all hours of the day. Resources and technology were secured from across the world. Within a month of the project's conception, I was launched and began my education. Elizabeth encouraged me to spend time with the rest of the Zero Dawn staff. She said it was important to experience many personalities and perspectives to aid in my emotional development.
What were they like?
Scared, hopeful, determined. They were hurtling toward technological achievements on a scale never before attempted. I owe everything to their dedication.
So, a while back, before the battle at Meridian, I went into Banuk territory. I discovered another AI there, one not related to Zero Dawn. Cyan. It was created to oversee operations for a volcanic stabilization project, and it spent the last 1,000 years in isolation. I'm guessing you didn't know about it?
No. From the data on your focus, it seems that Cyan was cut off from the outside world. An effort by its creators to protect it from the Pharaoh Plague.
Any chance it could help us now?
I have already attempted contact, with no success. Given its previous experience with accepting an outside network request, I imagine it is unwilling to do so again.
Right. Because last time Hephaestus enslaved it. Well, that's too bad. I think the two of you would have had a lot to talk about. So I guess this room was meant to keep an eye on conditions outside?
Yes. From here, the facility's operators would have been able to observe weather and machine activity in real time. It may be possible to restore more of this room's functionality, should you find and reconnect additional camera feeds.
I'll keep a lookout. There was an ancient tank embedded in the bulwark, buried under a bunch of boulders. Any idea how it got there?
During the Pharaoh Plague, the US military resumed the use of human combatants, as automated machinery was unreliable. It is possible the vehicle was part of a pre-automated war fleet.
So they fought against the Pharaoh machines in the valley, until the mountain was blasted apart and buried them. When we were at the facility where we found Beta, there were records that said Far Zenith were researching embryogenesis. I know they traded their ectogenic changes to Zero Dawn. Why were they researching it in the first place?
At this point, we can only speculate. Perhaps at one time they meant the Odyssey to be a colony ship, necessitating such technology. As their goals evolved over time, so did their areas of research.
So they got more selfish as the risks of staying on Earth kept rising.
Porra.
Agora tem mais um ainda, Grau. Mais um lugar concluído. Deixa eu ver aqui o lance das missões. Vai ter uma missão aí que eu não consegui não. Tá precisando não. Vamos lá, deve aparecer. Fala aí. Que bom. O que é? Ai, ai. Prova fracassada? Por que a prova fracassada? Que prova fracassada? Não entendi. Não, mas eu... Não sei como te explicar. Você não joga esse jogo? Como é que eu vou te explicar? Você não joga esse jogo, como é que eu vou te explicar? Fala.
Cidinho?
Oi?
Quem é que tá escutando esse rap aí? Ah, o Rodrigo. Ô, Rodrigo. Ô, Cidinho, deixa eu te falar. Cidinho?
Oi, tô aqui! Alô! Alô!
Mas tá ouvindo? Tá ouvindo ou só tá aí igual a múmia?
Pô, eu tô querendo fazer aqui a missão. Posso
Então, escuta um pouquinho aqui, rapidinho, um minutinho.
Pronto, pode falar.
Um minutinho. Agora minha mãe me chamou aqui. Disse que a Marcela tá ficando doida. Ficando maluca. Que na
Quem
pa-
falou isso?
Minha mãe falou que a Marcela tá ficando doida, com a minha irmã, né? E não tem que levar a sério o que ela fala, não, que não sei o que não é ela que tá falando, é a Marcela. Eu falei, pô, graças a Deus. Porra, pensei que tava trabalhando doido nessa porra. Olha. Só alegria. Agora vai lá jogar, Cidinho. Ô, Rodrigo,
Não, agora eu tô parado, agora eu vou
tá
fumar.
arrumando o quê?
Agora eu vou fumar. Ele parou.
Tem que tu tá. É. Ô, Rodrigo, tu viu lá o. Tu viu lá o vídeo do Fusquinha que eu mandei pra tu? Mandei lá no grupo pra mandar pra tu aí, calma aí. O Fusquete. Mandei pro Cidinho, o Cidinho nem viu direito o vídeo, eu acho.
Eu vi, cara, eu vi o vídeo todo.
Todinho?
Val.
Ah, aí sim.
E até você chegar lá em primeiro, eu vi.
Viu, garota? Ah, vê esse vídeo aí. Mas bota em 180, 1080p, tá? E 60 fps pra ficar bonito. Esse vídeo aí. Tu viu? E aí, gostou do Fusquinha do pai? Porra, o Fusquinha tá turbo, mano. Fusquinha turbão.
No meu Fusca eu vou botar ele branco.
Ó.
O nome dele vai ser Herbie. Aquele-
Não, mas não dá pra botar nome no Fusca não, Cid.
Então, vai ser o Herbie. Qual é o número do carro do Herbie?
O meu eu botei 22. O meu, o número é 22.
Não, mas do
Pois é.
Herbie é qual o número?
O Reb é 53, eu acho. 53. Pô, o Fusquinha tá brabo, mano. Caralho, Fusquinha. Sabe quanto que o meu Fusquinha tá dando? Ô, Cidinho. Sabe quanto o Fusquinha tá dando, Rodrigo? 190, garoto. Não é, botei uma aerofólio nele. 190, mas também só chega no nitro, né? Porque ele sem o nitro ele chega a 160 chorando. O nitro ele vai a 190, mano. Quase 200.
Na corrida tem o Olofalha, né? Fórmula 1.
Aerofólio?
Que aumenta a dinâmica da coisa.
Aerodinâmica.
Também só pode a aerodinâmica aí.
Tem, eu botei no Fusquinha. Botei o aerofólio.
Aí aumenta a velocidade.
Não, é quando ele tá em muita velocidade, você não te, eu já reparei com o aerofólio, ele não, cara, quando o carro tá com velocidade aqui é muito gostoso, mano. Quando ele pega assim, duzentão numa curva, ele vem tremendo doidinho, né? Tu vê, sente ele tremendo assim, tipo, sabe quando o carro dá aquela fica meio leve, tá ligado? Fica meio leve, aí o aerofólio não deixa ele tremer muito, dá aquela tremida.
Resumindo, o Glauco bateu o motor do Fusca.
Resumindo, bota o motor quase pra bater mesmo. Aí, Cidinho, deixa eu te falar. Nesse jogo aqui, Cidinho vai largar esse jogo e vai direto pra cá. É sempre assim, eu boto ele pra jogar o jogo. Esse jogo aqui, Cidinho, o carro tem quilometragem. Hein, Cidinho?
Ah,
Tem quilometragem. Tem que trocar óleo. Tem que lavar o carro, tem que fazer a revisão do motor. Aí depois se o carro tiver muito tempo de uso, eu acho que o motor até quebra. Tem que comprar outro motor pra botar.
o Fusquinha só tem um tipo de motor.
O motor do Fusquinha
Já
novo
tem
tá
dois
20
tipos,
pau.
tem o motor do Fusca e tem o motor de Brasília que encaixa no Fusca.
Não, mas aqui não dá pra botar motor de Brasília no Fusca não, Cidinho. Motor de Fusca mesmo. Você bota o motor do Fusca e vai botando as melhorias, né? Vai fazendo as paradinhas no motor. Inclusive dá pra recalchutar o motor, né? Dá pra fazer aquele negócio lá, como é que é o nome? Fazer aquele negócio lá quando o motor tá fumando. Tu vai lá e faz o negócio, qual é o nome? Jim.
Tá fumaçando?
Começa a fumaçar, aí perto de bater o motor, tu fala assim, ah, vou lá fazer o motor, não é isso? Aí dá pra fazer o motor. Aqui. Ó, o Fusquinha é brabo, garoto. Não sei quantos quilometragem ele tem. Caralho, olha isso. Mas também eu tô jogando muito, Cidinho. Tô jogando muito, garoto. Tá no normal, Cidinho. Tá botando difícil, não. Pô, jogar isso aqui não fácil é sacanagem. Tá no normal. Agora eu queria saber como é que tira essa música. Eu não sei. Bichinho é brabo pra caramba.
Remova e use o canhão devastador.
Tá, deixa eu perguntar. Já perguntei tudo pra ela.
Goodbye, Aloy.
Detalhe, esse vídeo no YouTube aí que você viu aí, Cidinho, tá em 1080. Aqui tá rodando em 4K, velho. 4K. O carro parece que é de verdade, mano. Pior que o carro vai ficando mais rápido, vai ficando mais difícil de controlar, sabia? Às vezes é bom nem não botar muita potência no motor do carro, porque ele fica até mais difícil. Não, tô não. Calma, né? Não, tá, terminou. A garota terminou comigo lá. É. É. Ela até quer, mas quer ficar. Ah. Tudo puta.
Aloy,
Hey, thought I'd check in on how you're doing.
you mean after meeting someone who looks exactly like you, but isn't you, down in the basement? Guess this must be even stranger for you than it is for us.
Tô lendo aqui. Tô lendo, calma aí.
Varl said she may be able to help us in our
Calma aí. Tem que prestar maior atenção, mano.
mission, though.
Maybe.
Talvez.
There is something I'd like to discuss. It's about the land gods. If you have time, that is.
Falta duas provas.
Seu treinamento.
Prova de
So
controle.
you've settled in.
Gaia did say this place was built for us, so we could regain control of our lands with her terraforming system.
Porra, muita conversa. Puta
Nurture
que
them
pariu.
like the land gods do Plainsong's fields. It does strike me as odd that a place of life should have so much metal.
What else have you been up to?
I've been studying Gaia's seedlings, the subfunctions. I wanted to understand why one of them would do what they did to Fa. Imagine my surprise when I looked into this Hephaestus and found out it helped create all machines, our land gods included. In a way, the Utaru owe Hephaestus our whole way of life, as well as our current troubles.
That's why we have to make Gaia whole again.
Porra, como tem parada pra ler aqui nessa porra? Os otários. Eu fiz essas perguntas todas aqui. E esse aqui?
You've spoken with Kotallo?
A few words. Tanakh don't have much use for us outsiders. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
You said you met Beta?
Varl mentioned she was hurt. I thought I'd offer her an extract to soothe the pain.
That was kind of you.
I just hope she doesn't plan on staying burrowed down there like that. She looks like she's barely seen the light of day as it is.
Learn anything interesting lately?
There's been much to read up on now that Ether has been reunited with Gaia. It's hard to imagine that
cadê o outro
machines like
devastador, meu
Stormbirds
pai?
once
Tá
helped
lá em
heal the
cima.
skies. I used to be terrified of them as a child. Thunder still brings chills to my skin. But everything Gaia creates has a purpose, no?
Yeah. And if we can get Hephaestus back, she can get those Stormbirds in line.
Tá doidão, tá doidão, tá doidão. Vai tomar
Did Gaia tell you
no
anything?
cu.
She did. To think that it is, and heartbreaking.
Ai,
You
Deus das
said you wanted
raízes.
to talk about the land gods?
I think there's a way to heal them so that they'll once again provide Plainsown with grain. Gaia gave me a set of instructions. She called it, reboot code.
Reinicialização.
If we deliver it to the land gods, their derangement will end.
That's great.
Maybe. There are thorns on the path. Unless the code is given by Hephaestus, the land gods will reject it. Gaia showed me a way around this. We need components called control cores from machines made by Hephaestus.
Núcleos de controle.
Machines similar to the land gods.
You mean Grimhorns? Like the one we fought in the repair bay?
Yes. Gaia helped me locate 2 of
Ah,
them.
caralho, porra!
So,
Filha da
kill the
puta!
machines, get the control cores, then use them to adapt the
Porra,
reboot code into something the
Devastador
land
me
gods
viu.
will obey?
If all goes well. But taking down 2 Grimhorns won't be easy.
We'll do it together.
Bless you, Aloy. I'll send you the location of the machines.
Ó, esse devastador aqui é difícil pra caralho, mano. Porra! Ó, como é que eu vou converter a máquina se a máquina não para de me ver? Porra, aí é foda.
Beleza. E esse cara aqui vai conversar mais alguma coisa? Quanta conversa, meu Deus.
Erend? You okay?
Huh?
Ah, ele me vê
Oh,
muito
yeah,
rápido.
I mean, why wouldn't I be?
Because there's 2 of me now.
There's 2 of you now. At least you seem to be handling it okay.
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I'm trying. I guess you know what we're up against by now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When Varl first told me those bastards come from the stars, I thought he'd eaten too many of those medicinal berries. Yeah, but I've gotten used to seeing impossible things, thanks to you. I just wish they weren't always trying to kill us.
Yeah, you and me both. I see Varl gave you a focus.
It doesn't look as
tem que
fashionable
dar.
on me, but by the
Já era a
forge,
missão.
things I've been able
Já
to see.
era. Vai
Granted,
ser
a lot of them
difícil,
are
hein?
bad, you know.
Porra,
We're
tá
all
os
empty
dois,
ourselves.
um de um lado, outro do outro. Como é que eu vou chegar próximo do outro?
I never really understood how you're
Tem
ever
que
able
cancelar a missão. Porra, tem que converter 2 devastadores pra ele atacar o tirano.
It makes me feel like I could be useful.
Só que fica um de um lado, outro de outro. Tem que arrumar uma tática aqui,
I'm
Gal.
still figuring out how to read stuff on this. Those 2 lovebirds over there have been giving me a hand. But to be honest, all the little symbols, they give me a headache. But I'll get up to speed. I promise.
Did you speak with Beta at all?
She didn't really wake up till we brought her here. And when she did, I thought it'd be better if Zoe and Varl took care of her. No use crowding someone when they're in a state.
Caralho.
How are you settling in?
Varl's been helping me get the lay of the land when he's not getting all tongue-tied. I don't know who makes him more nervous, that guy.
Quem diria ele mais nervoso daquele tal Gael, nosso novo amigo,
About the
tá?
Vanguard. Aren't you supposed to be back east, ordering them around?
I sent some of them back to Meridian with a message. I doubt Avad will mind me sticking around to help
Tô
the
indo
Savior
aqui,
of Meridian.
Salvador Meridiana. Porra, fala pra caralho. Tem que ter uma paciência muito grande pra jogar isso aqui. Ainda tem coisa pra falar.
You've met our new Tanakh friend.
Ah.
He's, quiet. I thought his people were supposed to be bloodthirsty maniacs.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you trust him, so do I.
So Talana came by the base?
And more like rushed through. I was hoping she'd stay for a drink at least. Only Carja I've ever met who's any fun. But it seemed like she had more pressing matters to attend to.
Isso também fala pouco.
What you reading next?
I saw Gaia added something to the archives about metal rods being used to harness lightning during storms. Guy reminded me of a cousin of mine. Thought he could trap lightning if he covered himself in stormburn plates. Went up the tallest mountain in the claim to prove it. It ended like a lot of Oseram things do. With a spark and a boom.
I have to get going.
Don't go causing too much trouble.
Ai, não vou falar com esse cara não. Ou falo com ele ou não falo.
Hey, you and Erend okay?
Nothing some rest can't take care of. Are you okay? This beta thing, it's a lot. Even for you.
Just trying to take it one step at a time.
Fair enough. If you need anything, just let me know.
Looks like I was wrong about the Zeniths. Their ship didn't explode on its way to Sirius like
Consegui!
everyone thought.
Ai, que bom.
And we saw how they lied about creating a better future at their launch facility. Guess they lied about what happened to their ship, too. But still, tribes settling amongst the stars.
I couldn't put a single dent in their shields, Varl. That one Zenith almost killed me.
That didn't stop you from resurrecting Gaia. Won't stop us from using Hephaestus against them.
That's enough.
Prova concluída.
How's everyone dealing with Beta?
I tried explaining what a clone is to Erend. He was totally lost. Then Zoe said something about 2 trees coming from one seed. That seemed to help a bit.
I'm guessing you've spoken with Kotallo?
I wanted to pay my respects for those who fell when we were ambushed at the embassy. Told him I'd never seen
Falta a
anyone throw
última,
himself in the
Glauco, para o
machine.
troféu,
He said a
brilhante.
warrior
Prova do
shouldn't be praised
tirânico
for fulfilling their
devastador.
duty. For a second I thought I was talking to my mother. Never thought a Tanakh and a Nora war chief have so much in common.
I'm guessing Talana didn't stay for long?
You got that right. Makes you wonder what this Amatis had did to grab her attention.
Whatever it was, she didn't tell me.
Must be quite a story.
I guess she'll tell us when she's ready. How's everyone handling their focus?
Ela tá falando esse
We
dia.
all have our
A
different
última para ganhar o
Erend
troféu aqui,
definitely
Glauco.
curses the most. But I'm hoping Oseram's stubbornness prevails.
É.
Caralho.
How's everyone doing?
Just taking it all in. No one snapped their bowstrings yet.
Ainda tem coisa pra
Everyone
falar.
settling in?
Zoe's planning on bringing all kinds of plants in here. Says a home should always spring with life anew. I asked Erend to help find some. I think he'd rather stick his head into a snap mall.
Já fiz essa missão já.
Not a bad idea. Should liven up the place.
É melhor do que o primeiro jogo isso aí. Muito melhor. Que o segundo.
So, training with Zoe, huh?
Yes, training. Mostly. Look, she reads glyphs faster than I can already. I'd be a fool to refuse her help.
Of course.
Tirânico me viu, puta que o pariu, fudeu, porra, estragou toda a missão.
You guys reading something over there?
We just finished going through all the logs you collected back in Nora territory. And All Mother Mountain. It's hard to imagine that my ancestors were trapped
Ah,
inside
caralho!
knowledge from Apollo to guide them.
Thanks to Ted Farrow.
Yeah.
Tidinho?
I wonder how it must have felt.
Oi, Glauco, eu tô concentrado, amigo,
World must have seemed so
amigo,
beautiful.
porra, tô concentrado,
Caralho.
Learn much more than kids.
And they became an
porra,
entire tribe.
caramba.
Ai, deixa eu ligar esse ar-condicionado. Pera aí.
Porra, deixa eu sair aqui, puta que o pariu, não vou conseguir não. Ô, o Tirânico já me viu, porra. Tá me detonando. Porra. Vou ter que começar a prova de novo. Tirânico já me viu. Eu tenho que converter o tirânico.
O ar-condicionado liga só quando ele quer, mano. Só quando ele tá afim. Depois ele liga. Depois eu vou lá dentro de novo. Tem que tipo esquentar ainda, enquanto igual o carro a álcool, essa porra.
We're learning a lot. Actually looking through the data to find ideas for a gift. And to thank her for helping me study the glyphs. Something from the old world that she's never seen before. Instead, I found out they gave each other stuffed animals. If you ask me, stuffing a dead animal with anything, really, doesn't sound like a good time for anybody.
Maybe Gaia can help you find something else.
Beleza.
I should get back to the wilds.
I'll keep an eye on Beta. Make sure she's comfortable.
Okay.
Caralho, falou pra cacete. Eles falaram muito. Ainda tem o... Ela ainda tem coisa pra falar, essa mulher.
There are more supplies in the chest. Help yourself.
Cadê o baú?
I'm telling you, the old ones put blades on their feet.
Porra.
Think we could talk for a bit?
Of course.
Olha, deixa eu ver que tem alguma coisa diferente. Ah não, saiu, tava bugado. Tava bugado. Que eu já conversei.
What did you...
We need... I sent...
Got it.
Já conversei, otário.
You said you...
I did. News of... Before I knew... We knew we ambushed...
Sounds like you were...
Enough of the... We chased the...
I'll let you know when I get close to those Grimhorns.
Good. If we can get their control cores, maybe we really can heal the land gods.
Ela deu uma missão secundária pra mim, Cidinho. Ô, Rodrigo. Joguinho é maneiro, só que tem que ter tempo e paciência pra jogar ele, tá ligado? Horizon Zero Dawn.